Welcome to my latest Warhammer 40k battle report. This time we're going hard. We're bringing a couple of strong lists in this 2,000 point game of Eldar versus Death Guard. Hi, Farseer Chris.
Hi, Farseer Chris.
So you and I, we're going to a thing, Realm of Chaos community thing.
Yeah, 29th of June.
29th of June.
Yeah.
And so you hit me up beforehand, hey, what you doing for the list and things? And I said, I don't know. And you said, well, you're thinking about bringing Eldar and leaning into it.
Yeah, I want to get back on the tournament scene a little bit.
You know, to be fair, that's what Games Workshop want you to do in 10th edition.
It's an arms race.
They want you to lean.
Yeah.
So you're leaning, I'm leaning.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Yes. You got the avatar.
Yeah.
You've got some chunky things.
I've got a lot of guns, but not a lot of models.
Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be bringing the Death Guard to Realm of Chaos. I want to bring the Death Guard to Realm of Chaos. Do you know why?
Because it's Realm of Chaos.
Because it's Realm of Chaos.
Right.
But I'm trying to find a list that isn't Hypercrypt Necrons.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? Because everybody thinks you're going soft in your old age, Winters. And I say go hard or go home, right? So
sometimes you get a little bit softer. But in this one, I'll go...
You Winters well.
Yeah. Maybe this list is the list. Shall we have a look at the list?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So this is 1985 points of Eldar. Great year. Looks like a very elite, very restricted, very tiny list with a lot of punch.
Yeah, so the thought behind it is Aspect Warriors, for me at the moment, I can't get them to really work. So
yes.
I'm leaning more into the elite units. And that could sting me as it's quite a small list.
Not a lot of redundancy.
Every unit needs to pull its weight, which feels very thematic to me as well. Like, there aren't a lot of Eldar, but what they do well.
You said do.
Twice.
Yes. Remind people what Eldar do.
Cool, so we get the Strands of Fate. So that is 6 dice at the start of the game.
It used to be 12, but it's 6. Check out the latest updates. Balanced Data Slate Warhammer Community Go.
So, and then you can use 1 dice per phase.
Yes.
So, and Farseers can flip the result of that dice to a 6.
Right.
So otherwise you use the natural result of the dice. So,
yes.
You know, 3's to hit, you can use that 3. 6 is to save, you can use that 6 to save.
Nice.
Etc. So.
And they re-roll a thing?
And they can re-roll a hit and a wound per unit. Cool, so leading the army, I've got my Farseer. He's got the Phoenix gem.
Yes.
So first time he's destroyed on a 2-up, he comes back.
Okay.
Leading a squad of jet bikes, and in the command phase I can use the power Guide. And Guide lets them re-roll all hits.
Okay.
Naturally, they re-roll 1s if they're on an objective. They've all got shuriken cannons, so that's a nice chunky amount of strength 6 shooting.
Yes.
Moving over, we've then got 2 support platforms with D cannons.
Right.
So these are absolutely filthy. Even if they hit you, they slow your movement.
And I've got Death Guard.
Yeah, so they will slow you down, and they're strength 16, they're -4, they've got indirect fire, heavy. They're brilliant.
-4, strength 16, juicy.
D6 plus 2 damage.
Yeah.
They're very good.
And then a massive unit of Wraith Guard.
Big block of 10 led by Spirit Seer.
Right.
Now, with the recent changes to Fate's Messenger, I've changed up the enhancement. Now the Spirit Seer has the Weeping Stones. Weeping Stones, every time my Wraith Guard unit kills something, I get another Fate dice.
Right.
So I roll a dice, and that just adds to my Fate dice pool.
Okay.
And I think they might kill a few things this game.
And these are toughness 7 with a 2-up save?
Toughness 7, 2-up save, and 3 wounds.
Do they ever feel no pain or anything?
No, they don't. But the Spirit Seer brings 1 back in my command phase every turn.
So there's 10 there.
Yeah.
That's going to take a lot of shifting. How many points is a unit of 10 with
340.
With a Spirit Seer? Right, okay.
Then we've got 5 Swooping Hawks for secondaries.
Yes.
So at the end of your turn, or I can pick them up, and then in my turn I put them back down.
Okay.
And they just deep strike essentially.
Okay.
They've got some fairly lackluster shooting, but the mobility is unquestionably great. Then we have 5 Warp Spiders, again just for secondaries. They can flicker jump, so it's a hazardous check for them, but they can move 24 inches when I need them to. Right. And they've got Devastating Wound, Strength 6 Flamers, and the Exarch has 2 of those Flamers.
Is it a move, shoot, move unit? Or
no, but I can use Distractor.
How does Flicker Jump work then?
So in my movement phase, you just change the move characteristic to 24 inches.
You just do it?
You just do it.
They just move 24? Then
roll, and on a 1 takes a mortal wound, so we'll kill a Warp Spider.
Okay, so 2 small units of very speedy things to hoover up all the secondaries.
Yeah. Then we have my tried and tested and true Fire Prisms.
Yes.
I absolutely love these tanks. So with the Eldar reroll, they reroll 1 hit and 1 wound. But Fire Prisms get an extra reroll hit and wound because they're Fire Prisms.
Right.
So those focused strengths 18 -4 flat 6 damage shots are rerolling hits and wounds regardless. They are fantastic, and they always get work done.
And you only need one to see because the other one can shoot through the other one still.
Yeah, there's no range restriction anymore. So as long as it's visible, I can put one shot through the other one.
Okay.
So if you bracket one, I can just use the other one to shoot with better shooting.
And of course you brought along the Avatar because it's one of the biggest, bestest, chonkiest units in the game. Him and the Nightbringer are up there, I think, with best units in the game right now.
Halving all damage is just massive. As I said, I was going to bring Aspect Warriors, but for the price of a Wave Serpent, a Phoenix Lord, and a squad of, say, Striking Scorpions, you can just have the Avatar instead. And I just, when I'm trying to turn the list up, I don't see any reason not to bring him. He just does work. So
if you were toning it down, you'd take him out and stick in some Striking Scorpions and a Wave Serpent?
Yeah, and make it a bit fluffier, but I just think if for tournament play, for holding the midfield, he's the guy to do it.
No, there's two very hard to kill units that put out a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
That'd be very good at taking the midfield.
Yeah, and then I'm trying out a brand new unit, so this is my Solitaire Nemu.
Okay.
So Solitaires have Lone Operative, they have Precision, and they have Fights First.
Right.
It's Toughness 3 with 3 wounds, but it does have a 3+ Invulnerable save.
It's only Toughness 3 with 3 wounds.
But it does have a 3-up invul.
Yeah.
And with Fights First, 9 attacks.
Yeah.
Hits on 2s. Strength 6, -2, 2 damage.
That's a lot.
Once per game, I can add 2d6 to its movement and 3 to its attacks characteristics.
Okay.
It can advance and charge. It's a one-man killing machine.
Yeah, it's very much the glass cannon. I mean, Lone Operative won't be able to shoot if I'm more than 24 inches away, but
if I need to kill a character, that's buried in a squad,
very quick, very nippy, zipping around all over the place. Okay,
that's the guy to do it.
So we have an elite list.
Probably too elite. So comments below if you think it's too elite. I think it is. I think it's going to hurt when I start losing stuff.
How much stuff are you actually going to lose? How much more redundancy do you need to put in here, or do you just want killy and board control and things like that? But it's a lovely list. So you've been working on them and tidying them up and everything.
Yeah, adding to them slowly. I've got Phoenix Laws and all that stuff for fluffy games, but this is tournament ready. And a special thank you to Dave Paints. Find him on Facebook for redoing my Fire Prisms for me, and he's done a couple of other tanks. He's fantastic, really quick turnaround, and fantastic guy. Lovely communication. If you're looking to get something painted quick, he's your man.
Shout out Dave Paints on Facebook. So you're not at 2,000 points. 1985. I'm at 1990. Not as good as 1985 the year.
No, not quite.
But it is the 90s. This is Death Guard, so we get sticky objectives. And there's contagions and things. Basically, if you get within certain range of Death Guard units, your toughness goes down and another thing kicks in, according to the Warhammer community thing. And I like reduced armor as well. So if you get in range of me, your toughness goes down, your armor goes down.
Does that apply to invulnerable saves?
Armor saves. Armor saves, and it's 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches from turn. It gets bigger from turn 3 onwards. It goes up to 9 inches. And what we've got is 40 Poxwalkers to run around and be annoying. They've got to feel no pain, and tanks, Mortarion, and drones. So Mortarion's big and chunky with a 2-up save, a 4-up invuln, and a 5-up feel no pain. He's not as killy as the Avatar, but he can tank a bit more than the Avatar. So we'll see how that fight goes. And basically everything within range of him can take a certain ability. He's got 3 abilities, but the one that I'll have turned on all the time, unless I say otherwise, is to reroll wound rolls of 1. So anyone within range of him, rerolling wound rolls of 1. He also has an ability, if you're within 6 inches of him, I think it is, you ignore any modifiers to hit and to wound. So no minuses to wound, no minuses to hit. It doesn't kick in on saving throws though. So you can put Mortarion at the back and fire indirect mortars up and over without the negatives to hit and things like that. And with Boil Blight, you can make him hit on 2s. So he's probably going to stay around the back initially, directing fire with the tanks, while the Poxwalkers move forward. The drones with the spitty anti-infantry 2-up spitty things move forward. And then I probably plan to deep strike in the Terminators, because they only move 4. So everything else will move forward and take ball control. Then in turn 2, these units will drop in. Blight Launchers, Flail of Corruptions, and then we have Typhon and a Lord of Contagion, because everyone knows that Typhon and Mortarion are best of buddies. When Typhus, I'm thinking of Kalos Typhon from 30k. When Typhus leads a unit, they're -1 to hit in melee. When the Lord of Contagion leads a unit, they are re-rolling hit rolls in melee. And Typhus, not Typhon, has the old school smite ability, so he does have the potential to kick out quite a lot of mortal wounds. But as it is an old school smite ability, if I roll a 1, I'll probably kill him. And I've done that a few times before. So we have a lovely table set up for you. The back mat's from P-Work Wargames. They're Italian, I think. And all this pre-painted gorgeous scenery that you see is from urbanmats.com. I made it kind of dense because tournament tables have a lot of dense stuff. And what we're saying is, if you're in the crater here, you're not in the... We're going to use the terrain piece itself to say whether you're inside the ruins or not, whether you can shoot through it or not. That makes sense to both of us. And we're playing that one. We're playing a janky deployment with no extra abilities and purge the foe. Chris, the way purge the foe works is you get a point if you kill something and a point if you hold an objective. If you kill at the end of the battle round, if you've killed more than me, you get, 4 points if you kill something.
Yeah.
If you kill more than your opponent at the end of the battle round, you get an extra 4 points. In your command phase, you get 4 points if you hold on to an objective. And if in your command phase you've got more objectives than your opponent, you get another 4 points. So it's basically kill more, hold more. You've got to kill at least one thing for the 4 points. You've got to hold at least one thing for the 4 points. But if you kill more and hold more, that'll be 8 points and 8 points.
That's where sticky objectives comes in.
Sticky objectives could help a little bit, but you've got the speed to get round the back and do all the thick stuff and the things.
Everybody loves something in their back corridor.
Alrighty then, we're deployed with Mortarion down here with the tanks bombing away for the entire game mainly. Unless, of course, the tanks over here have something to say about that, threading the needle, trying to come down. This tank is not in the ruin because that's the edge of the ruin. So you can't see him. You need to go busting through there. You put your big unit of scary Wraith Guard in the middle of the table. They want to walk forward and dominate the centre of the battle grid. And then I'll have a decision whether to start on them or whether to ignore them. Because that's a lot of killing, a lot of resilience, a lot of stuff. You were thinking about outflanking. You were thinking about strategic reserving with them.
Yeah, so the thought is that if they're not on the table,
yes,
I can bring them in turn 2 on a board edge.
You could have come in over here somewhere.
So I could come in over here and push the flank and maybe in turn 2 pop the tank.
Yeah.
However, if they're not on the table, then you're not shooting them.
No.
And then you're shooting everything else.
Yes.
So I need to force you to make decisions. They are resilient. They are popping back in. Yeah. And if they're on the board now, that's 5 I can bring back in during the course of the game.
Yes. Once per command phase thing.
So, potentially 5 I can bring back. Whereas every turn they're off the board, that's 1 less that can actually come back in.
Yes. So they're there. The Avatar's over here. He's a cruise missile coming straight down towards my lines to kill as much as possible. He needs to be dealt with. We've got the bikes over here ready to swing around. Anchoring the flanks, I've put some Poxwalkers in a drone, some Poxwalkers in a drone. The 15 Terminators are currently in reserve right now, drone in the middle of the battle grid, and you've got some Warp Spiders. Where are your Swooping Hawks? All the way over here.
Yeah.
Because at the end of my turn, you can pick them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want first turn?
Yes.
I'd rather like first turn as well. Let's roll. I mean, we've got a lot of gun. Let's see what Zinch says. He's not a friend of mine. After you. You get a 2. The end of all things, get a 6.
Oh.
It's Death Guard, turn 1. Was that?
Good game.
I don't want to alarm you, but I won this trophy once.
Well, that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I'm undefeated for ITC, GCSE, IT,
You've got your O-levels,
I've got my O-levels. Let's go on to Death Guard, turn 1. Fate dice.
That's fine.
That's fine, you're keeping it.
Yeah.
Because you can re-roll it and lose a dice.
No, that's fine.
How do you do the thing to turn these into 6s?
Farseer needs to be within 12 inches.
And then he can do it.
Yeah, then he can do it.
But basically, they're hits anyway, right?
Yeah.
And that's quite high damage if you're doing it for damage.
Yeah.
Once per phase?
Once per phase.
Okay. And here are the Death Guard orders in turn 1. No prisoners. Kill stuff. Overwhelming force. Kill stuff in range of objectives. So a nice quick movement phase, advancing on the right flank to take this objective over here, advancing on the left flank to take this objective over here, trying to stay hidden from a few things like the really big guns down there, Really rather not the really big guns. Yeah, I'm hidden. Mortarian giving everyone the re-roll wound rolls of 1 order here. And now we're going to shoot some guns. We're going to start with this tank, because this tank can actually see some of the bikers and the avatar. Let's start as we need to carry on.
Can I phantasm, please?
You can phantasm your things, yes. So phantasm, so I can't see the bikes. But I still can see the avatar. So indirectly up and over onto the bike, because the Plague Burst Mourner is 2 damage and bikes of 2 wounds.
They do.
Nice. The entropy cannons straight into avatar. I've been having really bad luck with these. They're not hitting much, but that one does hit and wound. It's lethal. Okay. So you have 4 up and vulnerable save against that one.
What's the EP?
-4
Oh, yeah, so
or -3.
4 up.
New, and you've already spent a command point. D6 plus 1 damage for 4 damage, which you half down to 2.
Yes.
The avatar's down to 14 wounds remaining after firing the stubby gun in as well, doing no damage. Now we're firing the mortar up and over at the bikes for D6 plus 3 shots for 7 shots. Nurgle's number. Extra shot for blast, hitting on 4s because we're indirect and that one's lethal. Strength 8, so they all wound -1 but +1 because I can't see you.
4 plus 8 on jetpack.
Okay, and I take out 2 of them. Going on to tank number 2, I'm spending a CP on Boil Blight, so its weapons count as heavy. And we're going to fire up and over at these bikes as well. It also ignores cover. So number of shots is 7 shots again with blast. This will hit on 2s. That one's lethal. And these are strength 8. So re-rolling the 1. So they all wound and it's -1. And ignores the cover. So
5 up. Make
that's
1.
4 dead.
4, that's the bike's gone.
That's the bike's gone. Just the Farseer, huh?
Yeah, that's just the fast.
Farseer Chris?
Yeah.
How many wounds has a support platform got?
5.
5 wounds. What sort of save?
3 plus.
Like, do I kill the Farseer because he's got a gem, he'll get back up again?
He will, yeah.
Or do I kill the fire? I don't know. 1, 2, 3 will go for the support platform. Okay, so Zeech says go for the support platform. So I'm ignoring Zeech. I'm going to fire at your Farseer.
I love the pointless roll.
Yeah.
I love it.
This time I've got 9 shots into the Farseer. Keep touching the blue dice. You have the blue dice. You're the Eldar. This is to hit on 4s, and that one's lethal. Toughness of a Farseer still low, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that many no AP, 2 damage a time. That is 6 wounds. 4 up, invulnerable save. He takes 6 damage.
6. I'm going to die.
Yeah, and then on the 2 he gets back up again anyway.
He does not.
Doesn't get back up.
That's Warlord.
That is Warlord. That is the end of my shooting phase. That is 5 points, 4 points for no prisoners for killing a couple of things. I'm on 1, 2, 3 objectives. Haven't touched the Avatar yet. Haven't touched the big squad of Wraith Guard of Doom. Haven't touched any of the big guns in the battlefield. But remember, with Purge the Foe, you get 4 points if you kill a thing. 4 points if you kill more than your opponent. So Dark Angel's Chris needs to definitely kill a thing. And at least kill 2 things to stop me getting 8 points. As we go on to Eldar. So you're picking up the swooping hawks get picked up. We're going to Eldar turn 1. The Eldari want to take no prisoners as well. They also want to secure no man's land. So at the end of the movement phase, the swooping hawks have not jumped in. There's no secondaries for them to score. Here it's the, what's he called? Solitaire and the Avatar, 2 close combat monsters coming down towards this objective here. You want to secure no man's land by taking 1, 2 objectives. This is the unit of Wraith Guard. They've moved right up to the middle of the battle grid. The tank is up there. And the other fire prism can shoot through the tank and target my tank down here. The other 2 are behind cover. And then you move the unit of warp spiders back because you're very aware of just how far drones can move and you don't want them zipping around and shooting at your warp spiders. Also, I've got 15 Terminators that can deep strike in. So you're very aware of the deep striking threatening things. Where would you like to start the shooting phase?
Let's start with this support platform here.
Yes.
And let us shoot
something.
Yeah, let me have a think.
Starting the shooting phase with the fire prism, the cannon came down and killed a couple of poxwalkers. The big gun on top is aiming at this Plague Burst Caller down here, hitting on 3s. They both hit. Strength
18.
Wounds on 3s. It's toughness 10. There's a wound and you've got a re-roll. So just 1 wound comes through.
-4.
I need a 5 up invulnerable save. which I fail, and it's a flat 6 damage. It's half dead. It's on 6 wounds remaining. After the fire prism, we have this support platform down here firing indirectly in at this tank as well.
So D3 shots.
Yes.
For 1.
1 shot.
And then it's heavy, so it hits on 3s.
Yes.
Would be 2s, but it's indirect, back to 3s.
Okay.
Hits.
Right.
Strength 16.
3s to wound.
Can re-roll 1 because I am Eldar.
Okay.
No.
Doesn't wound. So this tank is still alive on 6 wounds. You measured up with the avatar to see if you could throw a spear at it, but just out of range. So instead, throwing a spear at the drone and then using a fate dice for a 6. What does that do?
So that's sustained hits D3.
Okay, so an extra D3 hits come through on the drone for 2 hits on the drone.
Hits on 2s.
Well, you already rolled to hit. The 6 to hit was a hit, so this is to wound.
Yeah, 2 wounds.
So one of them wounded, and you get a reroll.
Get a reroll.
Yes.
Eldar.
Yes, they
2
both
wounds.
wound. AP.
The AP on that
Very
is
high.
-4.
5 up and buns. I fail them both. How much damage?
D6 plus 2.
Wow.
For
It's not a dead drone.
8.
It's on 2 wounds remaining. So the tank is still alive. The drone is still alive. Then you've got your other big gun, which is your other fire prism, which is linking with this fire prism. Wants to kill this tank. And you hit both of the times. 3s to wound. And you wound both of the times. I need to make both of these 5 up invulnerable saves or dead tank. And make both of the 5 up invulnerable saves. Okay, so the tank is still kicking it. Shuriken Cannon came in, killed 4 of the Poxwalkers. Now you're beginning to run out of guns. There's another support platform there and the Wraith Guard. 4 of them can see this drone. So shooting at the drone, some Cloud of Fliesing the drone, so they are -1 to hit. So you're going to need 4s. And you only get 2 hits. Eldar reroll. Yep. That is 3 hits. Strength.
14.
3s to wound. Toughness 9.
That's devastating.
Is it?
Yeah, so that's automatic. And then 2 invulnerables.
2 invulnerable saves. Coming up, a 5 up. I make 1, fail 1. How much damage?
D6.
2d6 damage. It is 11 damage. That's a critical hit on a drone. Enough to kill it. And it explodes, but there's no one in range as this pus ball goes pop. Now, interestingly, that's the end of the shooting phase because nothing in range or line of sight. So we've got some charges coming on. What would you like to charge?
Sorcerer's going into the Poxwalkers.
Right, 1 minute. So he's got lone operative. He's within 12, so I can shoot him now on Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
So let's Overwatch him with the drone at the start of the charge phase.
Okay.
He's only got 3 wounds, right? So 2...
Should charge Avatar first, shouldn't I?
Well, the drone's going to fire anyway.
You can only Overwatch once per phase.
Yes.
So I should have done the Avatar
So
first.
the Avatar can go into the Poxwalkers.
But you wouldn't Overwatch then, you'd Overwatch the Solitaire
I'm
anyway.
definitely Overwatching the Solitaire.
As you were.
Yeah,
As you were.
number of auto hits for only 4. I don't have any more CP to re-roll. I will wound that infantry on a 2 because that's what they do. And then you've got 4 3+ invulnerable saves to make. You should be fine.
Well, I've got fate dice.
You've got fate dice to use one of them. Okay.
One of them, and then 3 ups.
He only... Oh, it's good that you use that fate dice because he's down to 1 wound remaining. And then we charge. Yeah, I had an extra CP because I chucked the card away last turn. Right, we're going on to Solitaire. Solitaire fights first. Hits on 2s.
Can reroll 1 because I'm Eldar.
Oh, yeah. Strength 6, wins on 2s. Rerolling one of them. And this is 2 damage a time, right?
It is, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is roll all of these, and if I get any 5s because of the feel no pain, then I need to re-roll them and get more 5s. No, so the Solitaire on his own kills 8. It looks like this. There's only 10 Poxwalkers remaining, and the Avatar raises his big sword of doom. Strike version, 12 attacks, 2s to hit.
Reroll one of those.
Yes. Strength 7, 2s to wound. And re-rolling one of these as well. The AP is really high. How much damage does it do?
2 a time.
2 a time. So again, feeling of the pains of a 5 up, and then feeling of the pains of a 5. Look! They made both of their 5. That's 4 more dead. 4 more dead. What's the OC of all your things here? So at the end of all those fights, it looks like this. I've still got 6 Poxwalkers left there. They've got an OC of 1, though. I'm not sure who's got this objective yet, but I've got a bunch of Poxwalkers with 2 attacks each that could try and kill the Solitaire. Problem is, Poxwalkers hit on 5s, but 6s are still lethal because of the zombie touch. So 2 auto wounds. These, strength 3, but your toughness is reduced by 1 because of contagion. So I wound you 4 times. You've got 4 3+ invulnerable saves to make, or dead solitaire. Dead solitaire. You do have 1 CP over there if you want a CP reroll it. And he's still dead. The CP reroll doesn't save you. And the avatar has an OC of 5. Poxwalkers have an OC of 6. And guess what? I've got 6 Poxwalkers left. So you don't take that central objective there. However, you do get 2 points for Secure No Man's Land for being on one of them.
Also, they killed a unit. So
yeah.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
And that goes on my fate dice.
Okay, you get a 3 in the fate dice. So a couple of points for that one there. You also killed a unit for no prisoners. So that makes it 4 points each. Then at the end of the turn, you get 4 points if you killed a thing, and 8 points if you killed more than a thing. And I killed 1 whole thing. No, you killed 1 whole thing, I killed 2 whole things. So I get 8 points. You get 4 extra points. Then at the start of turn 2, I'm going to get 4 points for being on an objective and 8 points for being on more objectives than the Eldar, racking up the points here with the Death Guard as we go into Death Guard turn 2. It's 20 points to 8, and the end of all things, want to storm a hostile objective and take the center. I'm not sure I'm going to go anywhere near the center with those Wraith Guard all over it. So taking the center also means I'm going to be storming that hostile objective down there. And I've got Terminators that could deep strike in, and it means pouring everything I've got from my reserves in the middle of the battle grid. So I'm not going for either of my secondaries. I'm not bothering with that. We're going to leave that massive unit of Wraith Guard out of the game for a turn or 2. Instead, I decided to deep strike in one of the units of Terminators that are not accompanied by a Lord or Typhos down this way, after moving the drone up this way, after meaning to take some charges in at the tank down here. 1, to charge the tank, but 2, because there's secondary objectives that pop up later, like area denial or things like that. So to cause trouble and to think about the secondaries later in the game, then you phantasmed.
Yeah.
Spent your CP to pull the tank back and out of cover. So not a lot will be happening over there. Instead, we've moved around and we want to fire as many shots as we can into the avatar to weaken him up a bit more. And as you can see, I'm move blocking him because he's not infantry. He can't just bust through the wall to charge Monty. He's got to go through these units here. I added a Poxwalker back in as well because I killed a Solitaire. When he kills stuff in close combat, that Solitaire is now a Poxwalker. Anyway, let's fire some guns. The tank that stayed still here, I'm doing that Boil Blight strat one more time. And I'm going to fire up and over onto the Warp Spiders down here, holding onto your backfield objective. And this will be D6 plus 4 shots with Blast. And because of the strat, I'm hitting on 2s, and those are lethal. And then because they're Eldar, I'm wounding on 2s, and they're all -1. 7 4-up saves.
Ooh,
oh dear.
That's a squad.
They get wiped out. That's a unit dead. Need to kill more, hold more. Be great if I'm able to kill the Avatar of Cain as well. So let's start off with this drone, spurting all over him. Only hit him twice. Would normally wound him on 6s, but contagions mean I wound him on 5s. There's a wound at -1/1 damage. And he makes the save. Okay, everything from this tank, point blank range into him. 2 entropy cannons to the face, and they're both lethal. They both auto wound. So 2 invulnerable saves on the Avatar.
Well, I've got a fate dice on there, so I use it.
Okay.
That's 1 save.
Yes.
Nope.
No. D6 plus 1 damage. And that is 4, which becomes 2 again. Then the mortar has... Oh, misses. The mortar misses.
Too close.
And then this tank into him as well. Hits on 4s. I can't see him. That's 2 hits. And I actually need 5s to wound him. 2 wounds. 2 more 4+ invulnerable saves. And that's another damage. The Avatar is down to 9 wounds remaining. Then I came over here, fired the Terminators at the tank, but a couple of wounds on the tank, and that is the end of Death Guard turn 2. Not picking up any points for the secondaries, going to ditch them for that extra CP. Also at the start of turn 2 for the Eldar. They pick up 4 points for being on objective, but not 8 points for being on more than me, because currently they are only on 2 and the Death Guard are on 3 as we go on to Eldari turn 2. The Eldari are up to 12 points versus the Death Guard's 20, so they're 8 points behind. If they got area denial, they can easily do that with a big unit of Wraith Guard and engage on all fronts, spread out. In the Eldar movement phase, Not much room for the Avatar to move, and he's where he wants to be. Go charging in against some of those targets. But as for area denial, well, you've got the big stompy unit of Wraithguard right in the middle of the table, and 4 of them can draw a bead in on this tank here. So that's a chunk of points. And then for engage on all fronts, you're in 1, 2, 3 table quarters over here with the swooping hawks that jumped in. I can't see them. They're behind the ruin. This is the footprint of the ruin. So I can't shoot them. And then at the end of my turn, they can jump back up again.
Yeah.
So at least you're scoring some secondaries. Around here, we have the support platforms. We have the tanks. We have another support platform as the Eldari want to move on to the shooting phase. Starting off with this platform, shooting at the Poxwalkers, D6 plus 1 for this.
D3 plus 1.
D3 plus 1 for 3 shots because of blast. You're hitting on indirect.
3s.
Okay.
You've got one of those.
Nice. All of them hit.
2s.
All of them wound. No amount of feeling of pain will prevent those 3 Poxwalkers dying there. And they're going to get lit up some more by the shuriken cannon from the fire prism is coming in. The big gun of the fire prism is going into the tank. They all hit.
2s.
They all wound.
Yep.
Feeling of the pains and feeling of the pains. I lose 2 more, and then you're shooting at the tank, hitting on 2s, hitting on the tank.
I hit on 3s.
Okay.
Re-rolling because I'm a fire prism.
Both of them hit.
And then strength 18.
3s to wound.
2s.
Both of them wound. I need to make both of these 5 up and vulnerable saves again. I'd make one fail one. Do I command point 1? Don't see the point. He's going to get charged by 1 minute. I've got 2 CP. It would be highly annoying. No. You can, but because then the Avatar's probably going to charge both. No. Does it blow up? Doesn't blow up. Dead tank. So now the Avatar chucks the Wheeling Doom at the drone and hits it.
Strength 16.
And wounds it.
-4.
5 plus and Van. And fail the 5 plus and Van.
D6 plus 2.
Dead drone. And that one doesn't blow up either. You've definitely killed more as well for those sweet extra points. We're coming across to this platform, which is firing up and trying to hit this drone over here. D3 shots. This one has the full 3 shots this time, and it hits on 3s.
Hits on 2s.
It hits on, oh yeah.
Because it's heavy and hasn't moved. So, yeah, all hit. And then strength 16.
3s to wound, toughness 9.
We can reroll one of those. That is devastating.
1 devastating, 2 invulnerable saves. I fail all the saves.
D6.
Each is D6 plus 2. And that is definitely a dead drone. After the drone died, then the tank here had no choice targets to fire at. So it fired its dispersed mode beam down into the Blightlord Terminators right on the right flank that you're running away from. Only put 2 wounds on them. Last thing left to fire is the nasty unit of Wraithguard in the middle of the table. 4 of them can see this tank here, so I'm Cloud of Fliesing it. So it's -1 to hit.
4s. Reroll 1 because I'm Eldar.
That's only one
Only
hit.
1 hit.
And it is a 3 to wound. It's a big, nasty gun.
That's devastating.
That's how many damage does it?
D6.
Okay. And that's 6 damage. That's the end of the shooting phase. Then we came here for the Avatar of Cain charging the Poxwalkers. Dead Poxwalkers, and that is the end of Eldar turn 2. You're engaging on 4 fronts. You're getting the area denial, and also at the end of battle round 2. We both killed a thing, but you killed more things. So I get 4 points, you get 8 points. And then at the start of turn 2, I'm not on more objectives than the Eldar anymore. So they've turned that frown upside down and now racing into the lead as we go on to Death Guard turn 3. The Eldar were winning by 4 points actually, but when I add on the 4 points for holding an objective, it's 28 points each. So it is a dead draw as we go on to turn 3. And I need to get behind enemy lines and deploy a teleport home. It cost me a CP though, because I did have a tempting target and I've recycled it for these objectives here. Then in the movement phase down this end of the battle grid, I've suddenly got 10 Terminators storming through the Eldari lines. This unit of Terminators that got lit up last turn had to advance, but we're in their deployment zone because it's a janky thing. And then this unit down here with the Lord of Contagion are deploying a teleport Homer. So that is maximum 10 points on the secondaries. Operation Stay Away from the Wraithguard is still in effect. So I moved all of my stuff and things around here to shoot the Avatar and get a potential charge in with Mortarion. And he phantasmed again. the Avatar took a few steps backwards. So Mortarion can't make that charge. Talking about charges I want to make, it's not just that one. It's this one here with Typhus to try and get rid of this support platform down here. So we'll start down here in the shooting phase by doing everything at the support platform, and Typhus has got his smite thing. The Eater Plague happens in the shooting phase. I don't want to roll a 1. I rolled a 6, which means the enemy unit suffers D3 plus 3 mortal wounds for 4 mortal wounds.
For one left.
Platform's got 1 wound left. Here's the Blight launcher from the Terminators. That is a lethal hit. That auto wounds. And that's failed save. That's a dead platform, which means I haven't got anything to charge over there, but I've killed it. Okay, talking about killing things. Let's pour everything into Avatar. Round 3. Here's 2 entropy cannons. One of them hits. It's going to need a 5 to wound. It doesn't wound. Then the mortar. Oof. 9 shots. Which hit on 3s because I can see. 3 of them are lethal. These need 5s to wound. That is 4 wounds, but it's only AP -1. So you have 4 3-up saves. And that is only 1 damage because you're the Avatar. We're on to mortar number 2. I think mortar number 2 then has to fire up and over at this support platform. No, 1 minute. You got swooping hawks over here. Are they in range?
Coward.
What?
Should be shooting the Avatar.
No, I'm shooting the little safe guy over there.
We're going to spend a CP on -1 to hit.
Are you? Okay. Well, I'm already -1 to hit. I can't see you. And that is D6 plus 3, which becomes 4 because of blast. So yeah, 4's to hit you. Can't see him at all. I hit him 3 times. 2's to wound them because they're Eldar. And you get full armor saves at least. And they're fine. They're fine. Okay. Shooting and things. I think that's all the shooting and things and done because they ran. They're deploying a teleport homer. We killed the thing that we wanted to kill over there. So we've killed a thing. And the charges. We're all out of range with the charges. So pick up 10 points on the secondaries. In the start of Eldar turn 2, you're on 1, 2 objectives, but you're not on more than me because I've got 2. So you're going to pick up 4 points on the primaries. The Swooping Hawks leap back off the battle grid and go into strategic reserve one more time as we go into Eldar turn 3. It's 38 to 32 for the Death Guard. The Death Guard are 6 points in the lead, and the Eldari want to extend their battle lines, secure their home objective and anyone in no man's land. And they also want to storm a hostile objective. By holding on to this objective back here and the central one with Fire Prism, or this one over here with Avatar, you're extending your battle lines. Probably going to be doing it with the Fire Prism because it looks like the Avatar wants to go charging in and take on Mortarion. That's going to be a very juicy fight. And then round here, the Wraith Guard are breaching the side of this ruin with the first 3 of them. Can shoot round into tank. You're already quite low on assets.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of killy, but quite low on assets.
I'm happy that the Terminators are over here, so I can essentially ignore them.
Okay.
I can just pick them up as I need to.
I'm quite happy they're over there as well for getting
stuff.
to your objectives and stuff like that. The Swooping Hawks are up off the table again, however. So you've only got 5 units down as we go into the shooting phase. We're going to start with a 3 Wraith Guard shooting at this tank one more time, which is popping smoke one more time, or cloud of flies one more time, so it's 4s to hit him. And you hit every single time. Brilliant. 3s to wound. And you wound every single time. How much damage does the Devastating do?
They're all D6, so 1 save, please.
Okay, 1 save of 5, which I don't make, so 3d6 damage. It's got 6 wounds remaining.
I've used this 4 for a damage one.
Okay, so it's definitely dead. There's nothing I can do, even if you rolled snake eyes on the other ones. It's a dead tank. It doesn't blow up, and at least it stops me taking this objective.
Now they've killed a unit.
Yes.
I can roll a fake dice.
Right.
And add that into my pool.
Behind the Wraith Guard, this Fire Prism in the middle is looking up at that Fire Prism to put its lance shots down into this uninjured tank over here.
3s.
Yes. And they both hit.
And then
3s again.
We roll one of those?
Yep. 2 5+ invulnerable saves coming up. I fail in both. That's 12 damage. That's another dead vehicle. So Fire Prison number 2 is blasting everything at Mortarion on 3s. And then 3s to wound. They both wound. 2 4+ invulnerable saves coming up. I'm making both.
Cool.
Morty is invincible. So the Avatar throws the Wailing Doom at Mortarion and hits him. and doesn't wound him.
Reroll because I'm Eldar.
And doesn't wound him. And as the Eldar have so little left on the table, last thing left to fire will support platform up and over, killing some of the Terminators that are troubling you from behind. That is the end of the shooting phase. Now we're going to charge Avatar versus Mortarion. The Avatar needs a 6. You're using a 5. Okay, that's a 6. You make the charge. So, how many attacks has he got?
He's got 6.
6 attacks. And he hits on 2s. And he hits all the times. Strength
14.
Toughness 12.
3s.
And he can reroll that one. How much damage does he do?
It's D6 plus 2.
Each of these is D6 plus 2.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 5 full plus invulnerable save. Get those blue horrible dice away.
Fail a couple of these.
I'll try. I fail 1.
And then damage is 4.
4 damage. 4 damage on Mortarion. He has a 5 up, feel no pain. He takes 2 wounds.
As expected.
You made him angry. He'll smack you back again. Alright, you've got 8 wounds left. I think he's going to be okay. Because Mortarion only has 5 attacks with his strike mode. But I am spending a CP on Sanguius Phalanx. So 6s explode. And there's an explosion, which is good. But it's also lethal.
Okay.
So that goes back in there. You're -1 toughness, but I'm still winning in your 3s anyway. And I reroll 1s to wound is the thing, and then they're invulnerable saves. 3 invulnerable saves. And it would be 4 damage, but it's you. So 2 damage a time.
Take 4.
So that's 4. He's on how many left?
4 wounds left.
4 left, and they're locked up fighting each other, and defenders will get to strike first. In Eldar, in my turn 4. But that is the end of Eldar turn 4. 3. It's turn 3. You've extended your battle lines. You haven't stormed a hostile objective, but you have pushed the Death Guard off of all the objectives, except this one down here, as we go into Death Guard, turn 4. So adding up all the stuff and things for killing more, holding more, the Death Guard are only in the lead by 1 point now. The Eldar are catching up. 46 to 45, and I need to defend my stronghold, and there's nothing down there to defend it with, and assassinate the Avatar. So in my movement phase, I ran down towards the Eldar home objective over here, so there's going to be no shooting, and you phantasmed away. One more time, no shooting at all. These Poxwalkers chilling on this objective, getting me all of the points, and it's Operation Kill the Avatar. That's it. I'm ignoring all the stuff in the middle. Operation Kill the Avatar. So I ran with Typhus, and his Eater of Plagues ability is in range of the Avatar to do some mortal wounds. I just don't want to roll a 1. I don't roll a 1. On a 2 to 5, it's D6 mortal wounds. He's got 4 left. And that's 4 mortal wounds. And that is the death of the Avatar. And that is Assassinate. And interestingly, that is also the end of Death Guard, turn 4. Finally, the Eldar are on more objectives, so they're in the lead, 51 to 53. They're winning by 2 points, and they want to deploy Teleport Homer in the Death Guard deployment zone and investigate signals, do actions in the corner of the battle grid. And the Eldar have got 5 units left. The Superhawks jump in here to deploy a Teleport Homer, but you can't investigate signals. At least that is 5 points, and you're on that objective. And you couldn't move the Wraith Guard around to get shots in at Mortarion. So you move them this way in case Mortarion jumps over to kill some of these things and take back my home field objective. The Overwatch would be scary.
Yeah.
There's a scary amount of Overwatch should you choose to Overwatch him. In fact, the only things that are going to be shooting this turn are the 2 Fire Prisms and the support platform down there. And Operation Kill Mortarion is in effect. Fire Prism number 1.
Rerolling both of those because I'm a Fire Prism and I'm Eldar.
They both hit.
3s. Rerolling that because I am Eldar.
So they both wound. 4+ invulnerable saves. And command point. 1 goes through for a flat 6 damage. Let's see if we feel pain. We feel 4 of the pains. He's on 10 left, round 2 with Fire Prism number 2. Re-rolling. They both hit. They both wound.
4-ups.
6 damage comes through again. Feeling of the pains. And 4 damage comes through again. He's on 4 wounds remaining. 6 wounds remaining. To round off the shooting phase, this support platform fired in at the Lord of Contagion squad 1 more time, wiping out 1 again. And that's the end of turn 4. at the end of turn 4, the Eldar have deployed a teleport homer down here, but at the end of the battle round, you get 4 points for killing a thing, and they haven't killed a thing. And I get 4 points for killing a thing at the end of the battle round, which was the Avatar, which also means I killed more than the Eldar as well, for 8 points to 0. But in turn 5, I'm not on any of the primary objectives. So don't add any more points. Oh no, I'm on this one here. I'm on this one here. Let's add up all the points and go on to Death Guard turn 5. The Death Guard are winning by 4 points. It's 63 to 59. I need to extend my battle lines and cleanse objectives in no man's land. So at the end of my turn, Typhus is hiding in the corner.
Me as well.
He did his thing. He killed an Avatar of Cain.
Yeah, he did.
It was him who did it and relieved Mortarion. And Mortarion loves it when Typhus relieves him. So Mortarion jumped back over here. And I'm OCing you. I'm not sure if I'm OCing you off of it yet, but there's going to be some shots coming in.
Yeah, I'm going to overwatch.
I don't think they're going to be long for this world if you don't manage to kill a Mortarion with the Overwatch. And then that will be extend battle lines, and the Poxwalkers are holding on to this one down here. So they're cleansing this one. And then over here, I thought about charging your unit and shooting your unit and killing it, but you phantasmed off this objective one more time. Mm-hmm. So this unit that we're going to charge them and kill them aren't going to charge and kill them anymore. Instead, I think I'm going to cleanse that one. Kill more, hold more. Yeah, we'll cleanse that one as well. But now, we're going to come back over here to the Wraith Guard, overwatching Mortarion. All but 2 can see him. You need 6s to hit him, though. No 6s. Eldar reroll? No 6s. Oh, no. Well, it was a long shot.
Yeah,
we tried to do it.
I had to try it.
So Mortarion is going to Rotwind that unit down there. Rotwind with Blast, it's D6 plus 3, which becomes D6 plus 4. He's going to hit on 2s. The 6s are lethal with a bit of Rotwind. Strength 7. Your toughness is now 2, I'm afraid. Yeah. And he rerolls 1s. And they're all -2, 1 damage, which becomes -3 because of contagion.
So one of those was devastating anyway.
I'm not sure you get a save unless you have a 3-up save.
I have an invulnerable save.
You have an invulnerable save?
Yep.
6 5-up invulnerable saves? No. With the devastating wound, that is enough to kill the Swooping Hawks. Dude, that's the end of my turn.
Wonderful.
Just killing a thing. I've extended battle lines and I'm cleansing on a couple of objectives. Let's rack up some points because you're still going to get... Oh, you're going to get 5 on the primary. For bit. Well, actually, no, you score at the end of the game. So
score at the end of my turn.
So you can move and take that one off of me and this one off of me with those guys down there. And I've only killed 1 thing. So if you kill 2 things, you're going to get 8 points for killing more, and we need to find out what the secondaries are as well. So it's 73 to 59 in favour of the Death Guard before we start adding on points for killing more and holding more and things like that. They're quite a way behind, but with Assassinate and Bring It Down, if they kill Mortarion, they'll get a lot of points and probably win this day. Alright, I was on 2 objectives. Kill Mortarion, get loads of points on the secondaries, and then I'll only be on 1 objective. And you should be on this one here, and you've OC'd me off of this one with your tanks. Yeah? Yeah. So you should be on 2. Assuming Mortarion dies, we'll have to count up lots of OC and things like that. And I'm saying assuming Mortarion dies, because this tank can fire through to this tank, which can shoot a Mortarion, which is down there, and all the Wraith Guard can pour it in as well, and ideally you wanted to kill 2 things anyway. So you'd like to hold on to at least a tank to try and kill some of the Terminators as well.
Platform there as well.
Yeah, and that's been reliably nibbling away 1 Terminator a turn.
Yeah, and I've been rolling low, so it does depend. I'm
not sure how many points it is, it's close as close can be. The Death Guard are winning by a lot, but the Eldar, if they kill Mortarion, if they pull this off, I think they win.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
What do you want to start off with? The Wraith Guard, I guess.
Let's do the let's do the Wraith Guard first.
So the Wraith Guard are only shooting him, right?
Yeah. 3.
So he might as well do Cloud of Flies because there's going to be a lot of shots coming in on him. So he is -1 to hit now.
4s.
4s to hit him. with the reroll.
Only on 3s.
Okay.
Reroll one of those.
Right.
That's devastating.
Is it?
Yes.
That's very devastating.
6, 4+ and vulnerable space.
Right, okay. Lots of 4+ and vulnerable saves coming up. And a command point. How much damage is this?
D6 a time.
This is D6 and those are a flat 6.
Yes.
So I'm not command pointing it yet.
Okay,
so 4 get through in total with the devastating.
2D, so D6 a time.
Yes.
4 lots.
That's many, yes.
15.
Have you ever seen anyone make 15 feel no pain?
Winters.
I make 15 feel no... No, I don't. No. He's dead. And that is bring it down. And that is assassinate. So we've each killed our thing. And if you kill 2 things, then you'll get 8 points instead of 4. So the fire prisms are firing backwards to try and kill Terminators.
Yeah.
You're doing lance shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 to hit. Reroll, because I'm a fire prism.
Both of them hit.
And then...
2s. Definitely 2s.
Yeah.
4+ invulnerable save or dead, because it's a flat 6 damage. You don't kill any.
Alright, Shirk and Karen from the next one, because there's one on a wound, isn't there?
Yes. Oh no, there's none on... No, you killed all the dudes.
And then...
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Minus...
I'm okay.
4... No, this is -1.
-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. Should have blade stormed, didn't. Lance shots.
From the second tank, they both hit.
2s.
They're both wounded. Does that devastate the 6 at all?
These are just -4.
4 up and vuns. And make the 4 up and vuns.
The 3 shots from the
Wave platform support thing. Right, okay.
Can we roll one of those? Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
End of the turn.
Is that the end of the turn? So you killed a thing, I killed a thing. That's 4 points each. You're on more objectives than me.
At the end of the turn.
So that's 8 points to you. And then we need to add up the points for bring it down and assassinate. We added up all the stuff and things. 77 points to 81 or 87 points to 91 with the painting standard. It is a victory for the Eldari by 4 points. Whew. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. That was a back and forward mission.
It really was. Your turn 1 was so good.
Yes.
You pick your... I mean, you take notes because your target selection turn 1 was perfect.
Well, I was trying to kill the squishy things.
And you got rid of the Farseer, which is a force multiplier for the army. And you just got rid.
And then the warp spiders, then the platforms. See,
getting rid of the speed, getting rid of the psychers. It's the way you kill Eldar. Get rid of the psychers, get rid of the speed.
And I never touched these.
Didn't look at them.
For the whole game.
May have cost you though.
Maybe.
Because you ignored the tanks and them.
I mean, you have to ignore something at your peril. Either the Wraith Guard and the tanks, or the Avatar and the bikes. The thing about your list is there isn't much redundancy except for the warp spiders and the swooping hawks. Everything in your army is designed to kill and move and do the things.
Yeah.
So it's a good list.
Yeah.
If you changed it, what would you change? You've already changed it.
Yeah,
this mission was enough and you've changed already. What are you changing?
So the warp spider's gone.
Yeah.
Second squad of swooping hawks.
Why?
Because all I want is secondaries.
Okay.
Warp spiders just sit around holding their dicks. They teleport from there. Hey.
Yeah.
And I just need those secondaries. I need to pick up those couple of points to get my secondaries. Right?
Yes.
They don't need to fire a shot. They're brilliant.
Yes.
They won me the game, the swooping hawks. And with the points I save,
yes.
I dropped the Phoenix gem off the Farseer, which didn't work. And I get a second Farseer in the list. So I get a Footseer that gets that Avatar to be -1 to wound.
What would you put the Footseer in though? What unit?
He can only join Guardians.
Right.
So I just stick him in cover and then just keep him 12 inches away from my Avatar.
You'd have a lone guy running around all over the place.
Yeah, and it's just, it gives me that ability to flip dices to a 6. It's a bit of redundancy, keep him in the backfield.
Yeah.
And it just means if he's hanging out with support platforms, he can flip their Overwatch to 6s.
Meanwhile, I think the Death Guard list did quite well. One of the things I did though is I think the Terminators, I should have brought them in turn 2 instead of turn 3.
Yeah.
Happy with Typhus coming in over here because he killed that platform, then he killed the thing, and Typhus doing Typhus things.
Good use of that squad.
But I didn't want to drop them anywhere near the middle of the table because Overwatch and then this unit of Wraith Guard would have just annihilated them very, very quickly.
They do kill whatever they look at.
So part of the reason for me not dropping them in turn 2 is I wanted your Wraith Guard to move out of the way.
Yeah. So
they could come in behind.
When you did this, I was happy.
Yes.
Because I knew, because you'd left my big hitters unmolested, and I was picking up tanks at that point, and I thought, I can take your end, you can have my end, because I've got yours.
Yeah. Well, thanks for giving me your end. The strongest strat in your list, though, Phantasm. It's just so good. Any stratagem which allows you to move in your opponent's phase is strong, and the Eldar one is the strongest one, because lots of people have got strats where you can move a unit if a unit gets within X range, but the Eldar Phantasm is you just move.
You just move.
Wherever you are. You can even shut down shooting and line of sight and things like that.
Shut down charges. It saved me. Saved my skin. Saved my bacon.
So 4 points in it in the end.
I mean, the big one for me on that is I deployed badly.
Right.
You deployed incredibly well. There's 3 tanks in that little fortress. Indirect fire from those tanks. You were picking up a squad a turn. You were picking their targets perfectly. Jet bike's gone. Warp spider's gone. And then Sweeping Hawk's gone.
Yeah.
They are such a mainstay of any Death Guard list. I wouldn't leave him without one.
Yeah, they're expensive. They're expensive. They're good. Mortarion is a good force multiplier. But as we've seen, Mortarion, he isn't as killy or as resilient as he was before. No. I think he's still very good.
He's very good, but he's not what he was.
No, I think he's appropriately costed now.
I think the Avatar is supremely undercosted.
Do you?
For how good he is.
I think the Avatar and the Nightbringer are supremely undercosted. They are 2 nasty units.
Because the Nightbringer is like less than 300 points.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just stupid.
I don't know how many points he is now, to be honest.
2, 3, 5 or something.
They're all crazy good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a lovely game.
That was a lovely game.
I do like playing sweaty every now and then.
Yeah, I am sweaty.
I do. It smells a bit in here, but that's the death card. Anyway, we do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.